welcome back. So in our Selenium with Python series, today we are going to see how we can automatically download the browser drivers and then run our test, so that you need not to download the Chrome browser or Gecko driver. So for each browsers, there is a browser driver is required, right, to run your Selenium test, which we already know. But the pain is that every time you what you call change your machine, or you are what you call downloading some code, or you're changing the path of your local drive, or let's say that your browser you have upgraded. Now when you are upgrading your browser, now specific browser drivers also will change accordingly. Now those browser drivers you have to download based on your browser version, and then you have to provide the path while instantiating your driver object. Okay, so in our previous session where we were learning how to download the code from GitHub and then what do you call run the code, that time the user who put the code might have used a different browser driver path, right? Now I'm using a different machine, so the path is not same. So that's why if you would have watched my previous video of git download, that time it got failed because that user path and my user path is different. So that's where actually it is creating issues, where some manual intervention is coming. Or in case let's say that you have upgraded your Firefox browser, or you have upgraded your Chrome browser, now the existing drivers, browser drivers which you have already downloaded might not work actually, so you have to go to the latest versions actually. Now those things manually each time you need to do. For some cases, let's say you forgot to download but you're running your test, it will fail because it is not compatible, the browser with your browser driver. So that's where actually we have got actually a Python library, one developer have created that, where if you kind of use that Python library, it will automatically check the browser version and then the browser driver you have on your system, compare it. If it is not compatible, it will go to the centralized repo where all the browser drivers are there, and it will download the specific browser driver into your local path, and also get the path of that and put it here. Okay, so these three things it will basically do that, which is very much nicer, so that you need not to face the trouble or pain of doing all these things while running your test. So it's a cool feature, and that person really thoughtfully designed this one. So let's understand that one. So for this I will be going to the Google, and I will say Python, or I will say Selenium Python WebDriver Manager. Now, if you do this one, you will get a PyPy project here, and which is WebDriver Manager. So the developer is this person actually. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but he is the maintainer of that, and really thankful to him that who thought on this and then designed this library, which is really helping to us. Okay, so as you can see, so before means the classic way which we are doing so far is that you have to do webdriver.chrome, and then you have to provide the path of the Chrome driver. Okay, basically we were doing that actually. But now what is happening, that it is boring. Yes, we have already explained, I mean what you call discussed about this. So what he come up with, that you have to install this particular library or the Python package, and you have to just do this one actually. So instead of providing the browser driver path, you have to just say Chrome driver manager dot install. Now what this will do three things actually. First, it will check what is the browser version of your machine, whether it is 89 or 84, let's say if it is a Chrome browser. Okay, the second thing, it will check whether you have already downloaded the browser driver specific to that version. If you have not downloaded, it will download for you, put it into a specified location, and then get the path of that into this one. Okay, so these are the magic actually this particular library is doing eh, for you. Now let's I will show you the internals, like a few about how they have designed. Definitely we don't want to go inside a lot into how he implemented, but yes, for your interest or curiosity, we can just see how it is happening for us. Okay, So for this, what I will be doing, first thing I will be copying this one, and I will go to my Python project. And as you can see, I don't have that particular library installed so far. It is just a fresh project I have downloaded from the GitHub. Okay, as you can see, there is no WebDriver hyphen manager. But what I will be doing under my, what do you call, under my virtual environment, I will say pip install WebDriver hyphen manager. Okay, and then I'll just enter, and it is downloading the details. And just for now, just ignore this particular warning. And if I just collapse and expand this one, the WebDriver Manager would have been created for me. Yes, as you can see, the WebDriver Manager and all the code base that is written. But yes, as I told at the beginning, you need not to be like a Python developer, like a Python deep developer to understand all these things. But yes, I will be just navigating through with my experience, whatever I have got it, so that you can just get an idea how this person actually has implemented for you. Fine, now we have downloaded this. Now how do we utilize this one? So for this, what I need to do, wherever you are instantiating the driver object, what you need to do, instead of providing the path, what you can do, now I can delete it. Okay, and I will say Chrome driver manager. So this is basically I'm creating an object of a class actually. Okay, and this is the way I am creating an object, and I will say install. Now this is where I'm just looking into his documentation, and I'm doing. Okay, now here you can see it is throwing an error for sure, because I have to import this particular package. Now as you can see, it is coming from WebDriver Manager .chrome. .chrome means this one actually. I will be showing you inside that as well. Now here I'm just getting this object, importing this particular class, and I'm creating an object and then doing install. Now I was talking about three steps, right? It will first check the browser version, and then download the browser driver, and then get the path wherever it is downloaded. That is what basically we need, right? Under this. Now, if I go to this implementation, now let's quickly go inside this implementation. So as you can see, this install is basically getting the driver path wherever the browser driver it is downloading. Now, how it is downloading? This is basically, as you can see, Chrome driver manager is the what do you call, is the class which we have imported actually. And then this is basically init, means the constructor. That's where actually where I'm calling this particular class as a method. It means that it will execute the constructor, which is this one. Now here it is by default, it is sending all these values. So it is first checking what is the OS type, because see, the browser path, browser driver path is different wherever you are using. If you are using Windows, it could be like c:/users, and then my user slash, it will be there. But whereas if you are using Mac operating system, it will be like this: users, username, then some folder, and then the paths, what do you call, this slash is also different. So that's where actually it is first checking what kind of what do you call, OS type is there. Now if you go inside this, it is getting the architecture, which will give you whether it is Mac, Windows or Linux. So all these types it is giving. Again, no need to go inside a lot actually how it is coming, but yes, the architecture or the OS type it is fetching to just understand that how it will be designing the path actually. Okay, and then here if you go, it is giving the URL, because see, it has to download from certain location, right? Now this is basically the Chrome drivers location actually, where it is consisting of all the repos. Now if I copy this one and then paste in my browser, you will see an XML actually. Now this lists all the Chrome driver versions, whichever it is there. For an instance, let's say if you want to download, let me just expand this one or zoom it. As you can see, let's say that you are on Linux machine or a Windows machine, and you want to download the 2.2 version of the Chrome driver, which might be compatible to your specific browser version. Now what I can do, if you see this XML, if now this is the actual path, right? This is the common path or generic path. Now if I put a slash here, And if I copy this one, copy what actually? The browser driver version and then the name of that. Now this is where actually it is helping. See, Win32. Now how do you know that the machine that you are using is a Windows or what version? If it is Windows, then you have to give this file name as this one. If it is Linux, you have to provide like this. Now to get on the runtime, whether it is Windows, Linux or anything, that is where actually it is using the OS type. Here you can see. So each of these what you call parameters is having some meaningful what you call stuff actually. But yes, we need not to know details about that. See, everything, like for Chrome it is a different concept, for Edge driver it is different. Now at this moment I'm just focusing into the Chrome driver because most of us are using. But yes, you are free to navigate to the firefox.py file, or Edge will be there also, microsoft.py, so opera.py. You can just go inside that and can get to know more details about that. Fine. And you can see latest. So most of us are always using the Chrome browser latest, right? So if it is a latest, you need not to worry about that. You can just use this latest release. Like if I copy this one and put it into this browser, you can see it is giving the latest browser version actually, so you need not to worry about that. And then it is getting all other informations, you need not to worry about that. Now that's where actually it is sending to the Chrome driver method again. Now inside this Chrome driver method it is sending all these parameters. Now if you want to go one deeper down, here that is where it is building actually the path, actually which path, this path it is building for you. Now that's where actually it will download the zip file and it will unzip for you, put it into a location, and the install is there, right? This particular code base is simply getting the path of the browser driver wherever it downloaded. That's where it is doing. You can see driver path. Now this driver path is nothing but the same as your this path which we were using. Now all these things it is basically automating the processes whichever we were doing. Looks interesting, right? And you can even go more details into that, how it is building all these things. Like I have seen actually somewhere it is, yes, you can see. So this is where actually it is what you call downloading the details. Get latest release version, you can see. So latest URL, latest release URL, and then the browser version. Okay, so all these things it is doing. If it is not, you can see for Mozilla also it is doing. So for different what do you call browsers it is doing differently. You can just go a bit more details, but this is where the concept actually it has been applied actually for you guys. Fine, you can see it is getting the exact URL. Get version is nothing but this version, whichever it is required or compatible with your browser. Then it is putting a slash, getting the name means Chrome driver, whether it is Chrome driver. If it is, let's say if it is there are so many different things are there. Let me show you. You can see some nodes are also there, which we don't want. We want only the Chrome driver only. That's where actually it is getting the name. Get OS type, depending on your that OS type in the util class we have seen, right? If it is Windows or Linux or Mac operating system, it is getting all these things. Now if I put this entire URL into a get API call, it will download this particular zip file which we are doing manually. Now if I enter, it will download for me. You can see that is where actually it is doing an API call and then downloading that particular path or the zip file, and then it is unzipping and then fetching the path. Now this install, whatever it is returning, is basically indirectly putting inside this. Now you can see you need not to worry about anything. You just install this WebDriver-manager and then you can just use this Chrome driver manager dot install. This is for Chrome driver. If you are using Gecko driver or Firefox, if you want to automate, there is a documentation as well. Let me show you that. You can see executable path. Now here I just need to copy paste this one actually. So even I need not to worry what is the latest version, where I should be going and downloading all these things. You need not to really worry about anything. Just import this one and you can see it is coming from Firefox. And then now you can see if I want to run Firefox, it will download and then get the path of the Firefox driver. Okay, now let's see if it is downloading for us or not. So for this, so on this location actually, wherever it is installing or downloading, see it has to get a specific path, right? Now let me show you also when it is automatically downloading the drivers, where exactly it is storing. Let us show you that. So pytest, let me run first this particular code. So pytest, oops, sorry, pytest hyphen sv, and then again I need to go to the path. Oops, search pom test and then test underscore login. I'm just printing or executing one particular test case only. Now at this moment, as you can see, it's throwing something. Let's see what is that. From WebDriver, no module named WebDriver hyphen manager. Let's see why it is throwing. Let me just quit this particular project and then reopen. Let's see if that fixes this issue. So for this, PyCharm, quit PyCharm, exit, and then open the PyCharm again. Okay, now here pytest hyphen sv src slash pom test test underscore login dot py. Yes, it is executing. Yes, there was some problem with importing the module. Okay, as you can see, it passed properly. And let's first see what and all steps actually this particular WebDriver Manager did for us actually. As you can see, it is even throwing the what do you call the logs as well, whatever it is done. Now, first thing is that it is showing what is the latest version of my Chrome browser. It is fetching. Okay, by doing that get call actually, which we have seen, and then it is getting the latest driver version, which is basically this is the latest version. Now you can see trying to download the new driver from this one. This is where actually it is building the URL, and then by using the API call it is downloading that, and then this driver which it downloaded, basically it is downloading under this location actually. Okay, as you can see, now this is where this particular path is returned by this install method. Okay, so instead of the when you are calling this one indirectly, what it is doing, so if I just show you temporarily what it is doing, it is just copy pasting this one entirely, this one, and then putting it like this, which we were doing manually. That's it. It is doing that particular stuff. Okay, that is what it is doing. Now, if I go to this location on my local drive, oops, no, I think you have to change. Yes, as you can see, here is the Chrome driver. Now this is what actually it is giving here. That's why all of your test cases are downloading automatically this particular driver. Now next time when you again execute this particular test case, it will check what is the current version. Now it won't download again. Now let me show you that. Okay. So let it run and finish. You can see now it reduced one step actually. Now if you compare my previous one, you can see it is 4 steps it is doing. Now here you can see 3 steps because it is not downloading now, because it is already present in that location. So that's where it is giving even logs found in cache. Cache means whichever it is kept it in this cache before. It's all coding actually. I mean, that person nicely maintained all these logs for you so that you can come to know what version and all those things. Fine. The same thing if you want to run with what do you call your Gecko drivers, you can even do that. Let me first see if I have Firefox browser. Yeah, I have. I can real quick run the Firefox browser for you guys. So let's do one thing. So I can even do, so if you would have seen, we are using this hyphen browser, right? So in our say, this project, oops, what did it happen? Okay, so what I will do now, instead of Chrome is a default actually, which we have already seen this one. Now I will say browser, I will say Firefox. Now when I'm saying Firefox, what this will do, it will go to the contest, and where is my contest? Yeah, so here it will be pulling the browser from my command line, and it will go to this particular, what do you call, else condition, and it will execute the tests into the Firefox. You need not to write anything actually. Okay, so let's see if it is executing for us or not. Okay, so it did not find the latest version of the Mozilla or the Gecko driver. So here you can see it is downloading, and the path it built is this one actually. Everything is written inside the code. Okay, so it given some problem actually. Let's see what is the problem here. It is telling that bad CPU type in executable. I think there is some problem. Let's see whether the file is downloaded or not first. Okay, so the Gecko driver, as you can see, it downloaded specific to version whatever it is required. See, this is the zip file. It downloaded and then it extracted automatically. Now this path should be coming to this executable path. Okay, it's throwing some specific issue. I don't know, it is something problem with my system. But yes, as you can see, it already kept this particular, what do you call, this path. And just to show you guys, another way also, I can even show you guys. Just so what I can do, I can even change like this. Now what I will do, I will put it into this path variable, this particular stuff, and instead of this I can even put this path also here directly. And this one, let me print and show you guys this one, this path, whether it is taking the proper path or not. Okay, so let me execute this one. So let's see the output. Okay, as you can see, it is giving the proper path, but some kind of error it is showing. I don't know, it is not specific to the what do you call, to the specific to the project actually. This is something related to my Mac system. But yes, if you are executing, it should work for you as it is how we were executing for Chrome browser. Fine. So that's actually, and again, another thing actually, if you see here, even you can download specific versions of the browser also. See, normally what happens, this particular browser actually, I mean, this checks what is the Chrome browser. I mean, your Chrome browser, and then it downloads. Sometimes, let's say that you don't want the WebDriver-Manager library will check for you, and you want a specific browser version, browser driver version, you want to download it. For an instance, if whatever we were seeing here, where is that XML? Yes, so let's say that I want to download like this 2.2 actually. So this is what, this one I want to download actually, 2.2 version of the Chrome driver. Okay, see, there are certain restrictions in the organizations in real time where they don't recommend to for you to upgrade your browser immediately actually. So whenever there is a new version of your Chrome browser or Firefox is coming, do not install the latest version, because the latest version might be not compatible with your application, or there are some issues or bugs are there. So that's why they will wait for 1 to 2 what do you call, upgrades, and then they will use that. So at that moment, or they might restrict to a specific Chrome browser only. So that's where actually you can download specific versions actually. So if I go to this documentation, this one, where is the documentation? Yeah, so if you go here, yes, you can see they are giving directly this one. So where you can specify Chrome driver manager and then the version. So this is basically a, this constructor is basically a multiple constructors are there with different parameters. At this moment we were doing just Chrome driver manager default constructor, but it even accepts this one also. For an instance, let me copy this one, and then just to show you, and this might fail my test case, let's not worry about that. I'll just do like this, and then I'll just do like this, and let me just build this line and then I will show you guys. So here under this I will put log label 0. Even let's see what this log label is doing, which we have not seen so far, right? And here let me just delete from here to here. Fine. So what I'm doing here in this way, Chrome Driver Manager dot install. It always checks the latest version if you have the browser version, and then it downloads. But for some reason, let's say if I want to get the 2.26 version of the Chrome driver, then what happens? Let me run the test case. In this case, I will run the default browser, that is Chrome. I'm not sending any browser from my command line. It might fail now. Let's see if it fails or not for me. I think it will fail because it is not matching to the correct browser version. Yes, you can see it is even giving some WebDriver exception, which is expected actually. Let's not worry about that. But just I want to show you guys, this is what actually it is downloaded. You can see Mac 64 and 2.26 version, because I have mentioned here 2.26. Okay, so that is what I wanted to show you guys here. Now this log hyphen underscore level, let's see what is this one. Okay, this is just a different way of printing. Let's see what before it was printing. So wdm dot logger, and let's see what it is printing here. Yeah, so it is giving more information actually. So that's where actually the log hyphen log underscore level equal to 0, that's what we were giving. You can see it is giving some more details about that, but yeah, there is no specific functionality wise different. It is just the way it is giving the log levels for you guys. I was thinking that log hyphen underscore level equal to 0 means it won't print all these logs. That's what I was thinking, but yeah, it's not. But yes, if you are specifically looking for any specific versions, you can utilize this. And again, this is not only available for Chrome driver manager, you can specify for Gecko drivers, for Opera driver, for MS Edge driver. You can do those things. Fine. So that is the way you can do. And another benefit is that the other person who will be taking this particular code base, or if you are taking from someone else, you need not to worry about any path, because the path whichever it is creating is automatically handled by this particular library. Okay, fine. So that's pretty much it from my side for today. So hope this session is helpful. Do subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't. Thank you for watching.